say I'm not super thrilled about, because I like Coyote Logistics a lot. They're one of my favorite brokers to work with. And while I have worked with RXO in the past, especially last year, overall, I don't find them to be as quality of a broker as Coyote Logistics. I'm a much bigger fan of how Coyote does things. I like their app layout. I like my agent there. Really good guy. And I'm deeply concerned that the Coyote process and method, and honestly their fairness and flexibility to negotiate on rates, is going to get swallowed up by a much less flexible entity in RXO. Because last year, RXO had awful rates, and they were incredibly inflexible when it came to negotiating their rates. Because I bid on several loads last year with RXO that, you know, they had a not great rate on it, and I asked for more to make it less terrible, and they came back with no. I'm like, okay. So I've barely worked with RXO Logistics in the last year. I work with them enough to kind of get a feel for how they do things, and in all honesty, not impressed. Some of you folks out there might be having good relationships with them. I mean, they do have, I did see that they did have some dedicated freight options, at least, you know, if you can get into them at the right time, you can get into their dedicated lanes, which, you know, that can mean some good business, but I never was able to sink my teeth into one of those. Probably should try again and see what it's like, but, you know, that's for the future when I get my trailer finally fixed. But in the interim, you know, I'm really not happy with UPS selling Coyote off, because I like Coyote a lot and I like them better than RXO. But on the other hand, if RXO lets Coyote stay Coyote and handle things how Coyote handles things, you know, that it could end up being okay. It could end up being all right. But if RXO just swallows up Coyote to get their customers, you know, that could make things less pleasant. So it's just one of those things. It's a consequence of how the economy is going with trucking. I think UPS made a business decision to divest an entity that maybe wasn't performing the way they wanted to, or they saw an opportunity to profit by it while the value was still there. You know, I'm not privy to the ins and outs, of course, but, you know, suffice it to say, I don't think this is a good thing for the industry to have brokers consolidating like this, but on the other hand, I really can't stop it. And also, let's be real here, you know, a ton of brokers flooded into the market during COVID, and yeah, things got sideways in a hurry. So it's one more element in an unstable economy, so to speak. But long term, hopefully it'll be okay. Short term, not happy about it, but nothing I can do about it except decide whether or not I want to continue working with Coyote. And I want to work with them again. It's just if they're going to be absorbed into the RXO process and the Coyote way of doing things is going to go away, you know, then I may have to make a business decision on that subject and then go from there. But for the time being, you know, make of that what you will. If you have questions, if you're a Coyote enthusiast like myself, or if you work with them a lot, you know, talk to your agent.